Welcome back to Stocks in the Future. 8th graders, we're glad to have you back. If you are new to Stocks in the Future this year in 8th grade, please do not worry. You will catch up in no time. Within the next 2 to 3 lessons, we are going to be reviewing terms and important concepts that this class has learned in the last couple of years. It's very exciting for you to be in Stocks in the Future because you have a chance to earn Stocks in the Future dollars that will go into a portfolio that will and can be eventually yours. This year, you'll be earning Stocks in the Future dollars a little differently due to the pandemic, and we'll talk a little bit more in detail when we get to the PowerPoint. This year, we'll be doing Stocks in the Future a little differently. It will involve watching first a video. This video has some pause sections. It was originally designed for a traditional year in the classroom where the teacher would stop the video and you would have a discussion. This year, you just have the option to continue watching and not pause. But if you'd like to pause and think about some things, please go ahead and do so. The second part of this lesson will involve watching a PowerPoint. In order for you to follow along the PowerPoint, you will need a writing utensil and a blank sheet of notebook paper. So be ready to learn during the PowerPoint. Now, we'll start the video.
Hi everyone, it's Brenda Business, and congratulations on your participation in yet another year of the SIF program. If you are a new student, congratulations on becoming a member of the SIF program. This program will help you become financially literate. You will have the opportunity to earn SIF stock dollars that you can invest in the stock market. Becoming an investor will be your reward for improving your math and reading grades and attending school regularly. How exciting! Let's get started. Each week, we will go over the agenda, objectives, and important vocabulary for each lesson. For this first week, we will begin by reviewing the SIF program and its incentives. Then, we will discuss the 8th grade yearly project and end with reviewing important vocabulary words and concepts from past years. By the end of this week, you should all be able to state the SIF program basics, describe the yearly SIF project, describe how you can earn SIF dollars to purchase stock, to describe the NASDAQ 100 index trading stock, and explain basic investing concepts. Remember, the SIF program is all about investments and returns. Do you remember what investments and returns are? Look on page 1.1 as I read the definitions. An investment is something done or given in order to get something better. A return is what you get from making an investment. What kind of returns does the SIF program offer you? What kinds of investments do you need in order to receive those returns? Now, let's get ready to have fun, earn, and learn about investing. The table on page 1.2 summarizes how you can earn SIF dollars through your school attendance and improved grades. You earn 1 SIF dollar each week if you attend school every day that week. At around 9 weeks, that is 9 SIF dollars in 1 quarter. Since there are 4 quarters in 1 year, 9 times 4 equals $36 per year if you come to school every day. You will also earn 1 bonus SIF dollar for having perfect attendance for 1 entire quarter. Times 4 quarters, that is 4 extra SIF dollars in 1 year. You earn 2 SIF dollars each quarter if your reading grade improves. Times 4 quarters, that is 8 SIF dollars a year. You can also earn 2 SIF dollars each quarter if your math grade improves, which is another 8 SIF dollars per year. You can earn 3 SIF dollars if your reading grade is an A or an A minus, and 2 SIF dollars if it is a B or a B minus. 4 quarters of an A or an A minus in reading would equal 12 SIF dollars for the year, or 4 quarters of a B or a B minus in reading would equal 8 SIF dollars per year. You can also earn 3 SIF dollars if your math grade is an A or an A minus, and 2 SIF dollars if it is a B or a B minus. 4 quarters of an A or an A minus in math would equal 12 SIP dollars for the year, or 4 quarters of a B or a B minus in math would equal 8 SIP dollars for the year. All of that added together means that you can earn anywhere from 18 to 20 SIP dollars in a quarter, or up to 72 or 80 SIP dollars in 1 year. That's a lot of money. Remember, the SIF stocks you earn as you participate in the SIF program will be given to you when you become 18 years old and graduate from high school. Now we will introduce a new activity you will all be completing this year. Each year, all Stocks in the Future 8th grade classes research a publicly traded company in Maryland. Your teacher will let you know which company your class has been assigned. Fill in the name of this company in the blank space on page 1.3 of your student workbook. Turn to page 1.4 in your workbook and review the overview of the project and ask your teacher any questions you may have regarding the project. Now we're going to have you answer a few questions regarding the project. Turn to page 1.5 of your student workbook and respond to the following questions. What do you already know about this company? What type of things would you like to learn about the company in general? What type of things would you like to learn about the company regarding investing? Do you remember what companies make up the SIF stocks? They are Time Warner, Sony, Disney, Coca-Cola, Sirius Satellite Radio, Ford, Facebook, Electronic Arts, Southwest Airlines, Under Armour, and Gap. Which of these stocks would you like to own? What can you tell me about those companies? Companies also have ticker symbols for their names. A ticker symbol is a kind of abbreviation for the name of a company. Here are the ticker symbols for each of the SIF stocks. Why do you think it's important to know a company's ticker? Well, in the investment world, companies are often referred to by their ticker symbols. For example, financial tables in the newspaper and financial websites often list companies by their ticker symbols. Now that we've reviewed the SIF program and what it offers, we will explore a special kind of investment. It is a mutual fund called the NASDAQ 100 trading stock. Do you remember what a mutual fund is? A mutual fund is an investment that contains a collection of stocks or bonds. When you buy one share of a mutual fund, you become a part owner of every stock or bond in the collection. You have the opportunity to purchase a mutual fund called the NASDAQ 100 Index Trading Stock. This mutual fund invests in 100 large companies traded on the NASDAQ. So you can become part owner of 100 companies when you buy one share of this fund. You will learn more about this mutual fund in lesson 7. After you research your stocks in the next couple of lessons, you will have the opportunity to trade stocks. You can choose to purchase this mutual fund at that time. Now we will be completing an exercise to review important concepts we have learned about investing so far in the SIF program. Work individually or in pairs to complete one page of the 3-part review at a time, located on pages 1.6 to 1.8 of your student workbook. After each section is completed, you will review the answers to that section with your class. Do you remember why these stock concepts are so important? Stock concepts tell about a company's financial condition. Investors can learn how well a stock is doing by learning about a company's stock concepts. How did you use these concepts to research the SIF stocks? In the first 2 years of SIF, we observed the price trend of the SIF stocks. We also compared a company's sales growth, profit margin, and debt to equity ratio to its industry average. We also compared each company's cash flow to its debt. How did your research affect whether or not you bought, sold, or held a stock? If a stock was performing well based on our evaluation of the company's stock concepts, we would tend to buy the stock or hold it. If it was performing poorly, we would probably sell it. Don't forget, in general, it is a good idea to hold a stock over a long period of time. The stock is not necessarily a poor stock just because its price has fallen in recent weeks or months. The prices of all stocks rise and fall like a roller coaster, even the stocks of wonderful companies. Remember, the most important thing is to invest in good companies. Now let's wrap up with a review of what we learned today. Work with your classmates and teacher to read page 1.9 and fill in the blanks. Thank you for having me today. Goodbye.
Once again, as I had mentioned, you will need to have some notebook paper to take notes and a writing utensil to take the notes. This year, you'll be getting Stocks in the Future dollars by taking notes and sharing those notes with your teacher. I will go into a little bit more detail about what's involved with that in just a moment. Here's an example of what your note pages should look like. The note pages throughout this time will involve doing some exercises, writing definitions, doing some math problems, and also doing writing activities. We would like you to write out these note papers as neatly as possible because you'll be getting credit for getting them completed and then doing them as neatly and as organized as possible. For today's lesson, your paper will be organized like this. First, there will be an activity that talks about how to earn Stocks in the Future dollars, followed by some notes about a yearly project that you'll be working on. And then finally, the end of the lesson, you will be defining several vocabulary words from last year, 21 to be exact. So this is how you could set up your paper ahead of time. Let's now jump into the lesson. So this is lesson 1, Investing for Life. During this lesson, you will learn these things. You will state the SIF program basics. You will define philanthropy and tell how it relates to the Stocks in the Future program. You will tell how you can earn SIF dollars to purchase stock. And remember, this year will be different because of the pandemic and how you will earn those dollars. You will describe NASDAQ 100 index tracking stock, and we'll also explain the basic investing concepts. So the two most important things to understand is that an investment is something done or given in order to get something better. Again, an investment is something done or given in order to get something better. I remember talking about this way back in 6th grade when we talked about 2 different types of investing. You can invest in yourself. You can want to become a really good swimmer. And in order to do that, you have to practice swimming over and over and over again to get faster and faster. So the thing that you are going to do, the investment that you're going to make, is time as far as practicing laps in the pool. And of course, the thing that's going to be better is you're going to swim faster and faster, and your form in swimming is going to get better and better. A return is what you get from making an investment. So let's go back and talk about the swimming example. If you practice doing laps in the pool over and over again, and you swim correctly using the right form, the return that you're going to get is that you're going to be a faster, much better swimmer. If you make a good financial investment in a company, the return that you're going to get is more money. Your money will grow. In the past, you have earned Stocks in the Future this way. So you earn one Stocks in the Future dollar each week if you attend school every day that week. You earn a bonus of how much dollars? $1 for having perfect attendance for an entire quarter. You earn $2 each quarter if your math grade improves. You earn how many dollars? $3 if your math grade is an A. You earn $2 if your math grade is a B. You earn 2 SIF dollars each quarter if your reading grade improves. You earn $3 if your reading grade is an A, and you earn how much money? $2 if your reading grade is a B. During a traditional year, you can earn as much as $80 during the school year if you accomplish all of your goals. Now let's take a look and see how you're earning Stocks in the Future dollars during 2020, this pandemic year, as you're learning remotely. You can earn one Stocks in the Future dollar each week if you show your note page to your teacher. So these notes that you're writing down, you will get credit. You can earn one bonus dollar, Stocks in the Future dollar, for having all note pages turned in to your teacher each quarter. You can earn 3 SIF dollars if all your note pages are neatly organized for an entire quarter. And you can earn as much as $52 during the school year if you accomplish these goals. At the end of the school year, we're also going to announce some other possible ways of earning points. We are considering giving extra Stocks in the Future dollars to the students that are the highest earners in their class. And we're also considering giving extra Stocks in the Future dollars for doing a special project in 8th grade. As you participate in the Stocks in the Future program, will be given back to you when you become 18 years old and graduate from high school. Right now, during our program, we have a lot of people coming back and calling us, and they are telling us and showing us that they have so much money in their portfolios. They fill out forms, they open up a TD Ameritrade account, and we move the money from our account to their account. Many of these students are coming back from anywhere from $40 to $200 to $300 in their portfolios. So this is something real, something special, and something for you not to forget. Let's go on to the next slide. Each year, all Stocks in the Future 8th grade classes research a publicly traded company based in Maryland. This year, all 8th grade students will be studying the McCormick Spice Company. This is a company that is based right here in Baltimore. Its headquarters is up in Timonium, Hunt Valley, Maryland. At the end of the year, your project will encompass everything that's on this outline right here. You will have a 3-fold display that shows information of the company, that shows pictures of the company. It shows what the company is all about, a summary of the company. It has stock charts and some other financial information, and an essay. Once again, we are considering giving money, Stocks in the Future dollars, for how well you do your assignment. This will be due at the end of the year. Let's talk a little bit more about McCormick's. Maybe you know something about them, maybe you know nothing about them, but just go ahead to the next slide and let's answer some questions about McCormick's. So on your note page, we want you to write number 1. What do you already know about this company? Okay. If you need more time to answer this question, you can pause this PowerPoint. In the meantime, we're going to go on to number 2. Write down number 2 on your note page. and answer this question. If you don't know anything about the company, make some predictions about what this company is about. McCormick. I already gave you a big clue in the title. McCormick Spice Company. We already showed you a picture on the last slide. Maybe this picture will give you a clue about what this company is about. If you need some more time to answer this question, please pause the PowerPoint and join us for question number 3. Number 3, write this on your note page and go ahead and answer this question. What type of things would you like to learn about the company in general? What type of things would you like to learn about the company regarding investing? All right, going on to slide number 12. Let's review what stocks are available to invest in while you're in the Stocks in the Future program. Many of you maybe have already invested in these companies. So the Stocks in the Future companies are Electronic Arts, Sony, Time Warner, Coca-Cola, Facebook, Ford, Disney, Sirius, Satellite Radio, Southwest Airlines, and Under Armour. Let's go on to talk about mutual funds. So as 8th graders, we will explore a special kind of investment. It is a mutual fund called NASDAQ 100 tracking stock. A mutual fund, as you've learned all the way back in 6th grade, is an investment that contains a collection of stocks and bonds. So remember, we talked about diversification and how important it is to have a variety of companies in your investment portfolio. This is a very easy way of investing in 100 companies all at one time. When you buy one share of a mutual fund, you become a part owner of every stock or bond in the collection. You have the opportunity to purchase a mutual fund. It is called the NASDAQ 100 Index Tracking Stock, and its ticker symbol is QQQ. This mutual fund invests in 100 large companies traded on the NASDAQ. So you can become part owner of 100 companies when you buy a share of this fund. You will learn more about this mutual fund in lesson 7. You can purchase the NASDAQ 100 tracking stocks whenever the class has a stock trading period. So this is going to be, again, something new for this year as you're in 8th grade, and this fund will only be available to 8th graders. Just a few other details. I would spend a little time going, just doing a Google search on the NASDAQ 100 index and see what type of companies are available to you. I know through the years, a lot of you have had some interest in investing in Apple, but a stock in Apple, one stock of Apple is very expensive, but it is part of the NASDAQ 100. So companies such as Apple, Facebook, Comcast, Costco, EA Sports, some of these are part of the investments that you can make through Stocks in the Future, but something like Apple and Costco and Comcast and Fox is another company, are too expensive to buy just one share. So do a little research. You'll also find out that there's a lot of tech companies that's part of this fund. And remember, in 7th grade, we talked about NASDAQ and how its specialty was working with tech companies. So you could probably be self-assured that they're going to pick some really good tech companies to be in this collection. All right, now we're going to spend a lot of time defining terms that you have learned in the past. So what I would like you to do is to write, first of all, number 1, Stocks in the Future Review, and then number 1. And we're just going to write the answers. So write number 1, bond. Number 1, write the word bond, and then go through these definitions and try to figure out which one is a bond. Is it A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H? And then again, you're going to write down number 2, debt. What does the word debt mean? Again, look through A through H and find the definition. Number 3, you're going to write down dividend. Number 4, you're going to write down diversity. Number 5, you're going to write down inflation. Number 6, you'll write risk. And number 7, stock. And number 8, trade. So go ahead and write down the words to be defined, and then spend some time on your own trying to remember, do the best that you can to figure out the names, the correct terminology for these words. Okay, let's go on and make sure that you have the correct definition. Number 1, what is a bond? The correct answer is letter B. A bond is a loan to the government or to a company. Letter B, a loan to the government or to a company. Number 2, what is debt? Letter G, the amount of money owed. So please make sure you have letter G, the amount of money owed. All right, let's talk about a dividend. Which one is a dividend? Go to letter F. It's the money that a company sends to its shareholder each year. So a lot of companies, such as Coca-Cola, they do have dividends, and if they're doing quite well, their shareholders will get back extra money in dividend money. But there's some other companies like Under Armour, they do not offer dividends. And that's okay, that's just the way they decided to operate their company. But please remember that a dividend is letter F, the money that a company sends to its shareholders each year. What is diversity? We just talked about the NASDAQ 100 as a mutual fund and making sure that your portfolio has diversity. It is letter D, to make different kinds of investments. Because remember, we talked about in the past, if you invest in all one type of thing and all of a sudden that type of company does not do very well, you're going to lose most of your money. Number 5, inflation. Inflation is letter H, the general increase in the cost of things. And again, in 6th and 7th grade, we've talked about how inflation can be a good thing if you are investing, because that's how the value of your stock goes up. Number 6 is risk. What is risk? It is letter C, the chance of losing money over value. So if you're a high risk taker, of course you want to invest in newer companies, and you don't know if that new company is going to take off or not. It may have some new ideas, but you're not sure if everybody is going to buy into the new idea or not. All right, number 7, everybody should know. Number 7 is letter A. What is a stock? A stock is a small share of ownership in a company. So stock is letter A small share of an ownership in a company. So already, for most of you in Stocks in the Future during 8th grade, you should be owning part of a company through virtual investing. Our last term is trade. It is letter E, the sale of a stock. Letter E. If you need more time to make sure you have the correct answers, you can pause this PowerPoint. Right now, we're going to go to slide 15 and look at some more terms. Okay, on your notebook page, please continue numbering your paper 9 through 16. Okay, so some of these words we just talked about, and some of them maybe you need some time to review and remember. Okay, number 9, a person who makes his or her money earn more money is called a what? A person who makes his or her money earn more money is called a what? A person who buys and sells stocks for other people is called a what? A person who buys and sells stocks for other people is called a what? Now, if you're new to the program, just do the very best that you can. Number 11, what kind of company does not sell its stocks to the public? And again, for those of you who've been in the program, this is common sense. Those of you who are new, this should be pretty common sense. A company that does not sell its stock to the general public is called a what type of company? Number 12, a company becomes a what type of company when it begins to sell its stock to the general public? A company becomes a what type of company when it begins to sell its stock to the general public? Fill in the blank, please. Number 13, there are 3 major stock exchanges in the U.S. They are the What Stock Exchange, the What Stock Exchange, and the third one is called the American Stock Exchange. So look up in the word bank and figure out the other 2 types of exchange companies. Number 14, a steady general increase in the stock market prices is called a what market? Peter Lynch, I remember teaching this last year, urged investors to invest in new companies that they what and what? Fill in the blank. Number 16, stocks are sold through a what? Actually, the answer is given to you in the middle of this exercise. Stocks are sold through a what? All right, let's review. If you have the wrong answer, go ahead and just put the right answer in on your notebook paper. Simply cross it out and put in the right answer. So a person who makes his or her money earn more money is called an investor. So if you're in the Stocks in the Future program, you are all investors because you are putting your Stocks in the Future dollars into companies, and now you're an investor. A person who buys and sells stocks for people is called a broker. A person who buys and sells stocks for other people is called a broker. If you do quite well in the Stocks in the Future program, you really enjoy the subject area, you're good in math, you're good at figuring out businesses, and you work well with people, you might want to consider becoming a broker. They earn very good money. Number 11, a private company does not sell its stocks to the general public. They're private company. There are a lot of family businesses, grocery store chains that you cannot find as a stock. A lot of florists are going to be companies that are owned by families or individuals, and they do not want to put their company out there on the stock exchange. So not all companies are you going to find on the stock exchange. Number 12, a company becomes a public company when it begins to sell its stock to the general public. So it is public. A stock becomes public. Number 13, the three major stock exchanges in the U.S. are the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ. We just talked about the NASDAQ on the other slide. Number 14, a steady general increase in the stock market is called a bull market. It's called a bull market. Last year when I taught 7th grade, we didn't get to this because of the pandemic. So this may be new to a lot of you people that, you know, a bull market is a good market. You want the stock market to keep going up if you are making investments. You want the economy to operate well. Number 15, Peter Lynch urged investors to invest in new companies they know and love. All right, and then finally for this slide, stocks are sold through a stock exchange. And again, we talked in number 13, the three major stock exchanges is the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, and the American Stock Exchange. All right, now we come to the final slide where again, we're working with, terms. So you're going to, on your paper, write 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And so we want you to take some time to define what is price for 17, what is sales growth for 18, what is profit margin for 19, what is debt to equity ratio for 20, what is free cash flow. So now we're getting into some pretty heavy duty terms here. These are a little harder. And a lot of these were taught towards the end of 7th grade. So for a lot of you, this may be new, but please don't worry. We're going to review this again and again as we go into the 8th grade curriculum. Please take some time to do the best you can to define these. All right, now we're going to go on to review. All right, so for number 17, you should write down letter C. Price is the cost of a share at a particular point in time. Price is the cost of the share of a stock at a particular point in time. Number 18, sales growth is going to be letter A. The increase or decrease of a company's sales compared to last year. Number 19, profit margin is going to be letter E. Profit margin is letter E, the amount of a company's profit that it gets to keep for each dollar of sales. So again, profit margin is the amount of a company's profit that it gets to keep for each dollar of sales. Number 20, debt to equity ratio. Again, this was taught at the end of 7th grade, and maybe several of you did not get to learn this. So we're either reviewing this or introducing it today, but no worries, we will go into more detail as we get into more lessons. And debt to equity ratio is letter D. It compares what the company owes to the value of its stock. Compares what the company owes to the value of its stock. All right, and then finally, free cash flow is letter B. Free cash flow is letter B, the amount of money a company has to spend on whatever it wants free cash flow. So how much money do they have available to grow their company? People that work in the financial field and know about stocks in the future, excuse me, are very impressed that 8th graders are learning terms like sales growth, profit margin, debt to equity ratio, and free cash flow. So again, we'll review this and know that these terms will really help you analyze how well companies are functioning. I'd like to take a look at slide number 4 just to review with you what your end product note page is going to look like before you turn them into your teacher. So you want to make sure that you have questions 1 through 4, how to earn SIF dollars to purchase a stock. We had 4 blanks to fill in. And then the next section is the yearly project. And these are things that you want to learn about, things that you know or don't know about McCormick's. And then the third section, the final section, are the 21 terms that we worked with today. So hold on to these papers, have them ready to turn into your teacher. Your teacher may ask you to do even more than this. It really depends on your teacher. Or this might be sufficient for what your teacher wants you to turn in for a Stocks in the Future dollar for this week. Thank you so much, and we look forward to beginning another lesson with you, lesson number 2, next week. Thank you so much.